Hey guys, welcome back to another JT and Urban video. I'm your favorite dreadhead blogger, Eli, or you can call me Urban. We also got JT, or better known as your favorite bald head, not one follicle having on his head. JT, how's everything going, JT?
Man, I'm keeping it shaved. Pause.
Oh man. So on today's video, we're going to be talking about, well, we have two topics. One we're just going to briefly go over, which happened to be the Mike Tyson one. And also, we also have another boxer that we're talking about, and that's Amir Khan. Hopefully I said it right. Amir Khan and him getting robbed. Mm-hmm. All right. So JT, just briefly talking about it. What's your thoughts about what happened with Mike Tyson in the airplane where he had to knock somebody out?
I remember when I was growing up, I played a Nintendo game. Mike Tyson knocked out by Little Mac. Wanted to grow up to be the youngest heavyweight champion in the world, right? So everybody had an opportunity to fight Mike Tyson. But I don't know what person in their right mind would want to fight Mike Tyson in real life. Keep that stuff on Nintendo games. Do not do it in real purpose. Leave that man alone. Remember, this is the same man that owned the tiger. This is the same man that bit Evander Holyfield's ear off. This is the same man who whipped Mitch Green. Man, you got to be a fool to want to fight this man.
You know, I don't know what was his agenda, whether he was looking to make some money, but man, like you really went into the lines then, you know.
Literally.
All right. So that's just our thoughts on that. Now let's go into the main topic. Now, of course, over the weekend, Amir Khan, he actually got robbed, and actually got his tweet up here. It says, "Just had my watch taken off at Gunpoint in East London." That's where he's from, I assume. I crossed the road with Faryal. I'm assuming that's his wife. Luckily, she was a few steps behind me. The two men ran up on me and asked for my wristwatch, having a gun on his face, or on my face since I'm reading it. The main thing is we're both safe, and that's not even the main story. That's not the main story. The main story is the wife ran away. The wife, as soon as the gun came out, she took off. All right. Now here is the camera that actually caught the footage. Here's that clip right there. Now, she also received some backlash about all this, talking about how she ran away. But here's what she had to say about it.
You don't know how it feels being in a situation like that. You've never been in it, and I pray you never are in it. And I'll say one thing, no one's a gangster when there's a gun put to your head. No one. I can't get in front of a mirror and get shot. This isn't Romeo and Juliet. At that time, the best thing for me to do is think of my family. I have 3 children, and run and get help.
Now, with that being said, Amir Khan really, applauded his wife for actually running away, because he wanted to make sure he's safe. Now, my thing is what if it was the opposite way around? Like, of course, because I would want my wife to get away from the situation as well. Of course, you as well too, JT, right?
Yeah, most definitely.
Of course. Now, my thing is, what if it was on the opposite shoe? Let's say she was getting robbed and Amir decided to run away. How would it be? Imagine the bad press on him. Now, what's your thoughts, JT?
Well, Amir Khan running away would be definitely a bad look, but everyone knows he has a glass chin that he has to protect. So that'd probably be one of the reasons why he would have to run. All you do is tap Amir Khan on the chin, he's knocked out. So he wouldn't be no help at all. But seriously speaking, it would definitely not be a good light for Amir Khan to run because you are the protector. Now, if his wife was there by herself and she had to protect the kids, now she's a person who has to stand front and center because there's no man or husband around to protect her. So, but definitely, if he's there, he has to take that charge. He has to make sure he protects the wife and children. It would definitely look bad on Amir, his part.
No, of course. And that's the thing. We have to look at it as with the roles reversed, because everybody's like, oh yeah, men, woman wants to be treated as equal, and I do believe, I do believe in equality, of course, and all that extra stuff. But we have to look at it like right now. Of course, she's getting backlash because she left her man and things like that. But I don't see nothing wrong with that. She had her choice. She wanted to make sure she has 3 kids. She wanted to make sure she's there for them. But like I said, if the roles were reversed, it would look tremendously bad. Of course, he'll get way more backlash. I was watching this documentary of this Chinese man who was on the Titan, who happened to survive, who went back home, was ridiculed by his country, his wife, and kids for surviving, because somebody, there could have been another kid or another woman that took his spot, that he decided to save his life.
Well,
if that makes sense. He was ridiculed. He couldn't even go back home to his family. He had to leave.
Wow. So they looked at him as basically being a coward.
No, they actually said that. They said if you took up a Chinese dictionary and you looked up the word coward, his picture would be there. Well, maybe I'm over exaggerating on that, but they did have his picture plastered as the face of being a coward.
I was definitely going to Google that right after the show.
Yeah, man. Look up Chinese coward Titanic, and you'll probably find it.
Wow. I mean, that's a heavy burden to have, But when people look at courage and look at a person as being brave and the valor, they look at the man being there, sacrifice themselves for the family. Now you have some women who would be a ride or die to say, "Hey, I'm standing there and fight with my man." But for safety, I can't fault the fair, or they say the weaker sex. It may be a plan. It's something that
we're not saying no one is weak. We're not saying no one is weak. But keep going.
But it's known that this is what the term people use. And when it comes down to him being a husband and being a father of children, like, I see him not really caring about that. Like, hey, as long as they are safe, I'll take whatever comes to me, but my family has to live to see another day. So I think that's how he may feel. I don't know if he came out and spoke on it, but if she said, hey, I'm here to protect the children, she did her part, and their agreement maybe, Some people may, some guys, from the inner city, they may want a woman who's ride or die. We both gonna take this guy out or these burglars out, but that may be fiction, No,
of course. Now you got to put it in certain circumstances as well.
Right.
Like if I'm putting myself in that situation, let's say they did come to rob my wife, the first thought I'm gonna have is, hey, how do we both get out of this? I'm not leaving, I'm not running, but how do we both get out of this? All right, honey, hey, give them whatever they want. Boom, boom, boom. All right, take out your so and so. Now, if it comes to the point where, hey, I know it's gonna escalate. All right, I'm gonna try to find a way for me to, this is plan B. Plan A is both of us getting out of that situation alive.
Yeah.
If plan A is no longer in the picture, then we have to go to plan B, where I have to jump in and put myself in the picture and try to at least give my wife time to escape the situation, even at the cost of my life. This is not something I want to do. But that's exactly how I have to handle that situation. I'm going to fight for my life, but if I happen not to make it out that situation, at least my wife gets out of it.
Now think about it like this, and you can tell the intent of the burglars or the robbers, right? Is because if they would have ran, and if there was a second person, and that person would have ran after her, he would have to again put himself in front to say, shield his family. So thank goodness that their intentions were just to get some money, maybe to get this watch. They really didn't want to shoot and kill anyone. I think because the way that it went down. But think about because she did have an opportunity to see that person, maybe she could have identified them.
I don't know if they had. I couldn't see on the camera. I don't know if their face was covered or anything. But
if that was a fear of theirs, they would run after her and try to grab her, and have the other person subdue Amir. But we don't know. It's just the scenario could have went many ways. I'm glad that they wound up being safe, and no one was shot, killed, or injured.
No, 100%, 100%. But
Yeah.
that's just our thoughts. We want to know what your thoughts is. If you're a woman, do you believe you would run, or would you stick with your man? Or if you're a man, would you be okay with your wife running away, or would you be like, nah, man, you gotta stick with me. We live together, we die together. What's your thoughts? Comment down below. Let me know. Guys, thank you so much for watching. Make sure you guys hit that subscribe button, hit that thumbs up, and have a beautiful day.